And according to Second Education Minister Maliki Osman, over 101,000 students have gotten their first vaccine dose out of the 300,000 or so who have registered for their appointments.
Of the 300,000 that have already booked their slots, about 101,000 have already received their first vaccination. And this is very encouraging. What's even more encouraging is our first batch, our graduating students. About 90% of them have already registered, and about 75% have received their first doses. So it's very encouraging to see how the students have been responding to all these invitations and SMSs that's been given to them. What we hope is for all students to register and get vaccinated for the first dose by end of June. And if you look at the time frame, 6 to 8 weeks later for the second vaccination, we hope that students will be able to get vaccinated with the second dose by end of August. But that all depends on the response rate. It's very encouraging today. By and large, we have about 80 to 90% of responses from the different categories, and we hope more will step forward. And if everyone steps forward and register, we should be able to vaccinate all our students by the end of August.
Dr. Maliki was speaking during a visit to ITE College West to launch the vaccination centre there. It's one of 3 dedicated MOE vaccination centres that opened today to support the rollout for students. The other centres are at ITE College campuses in Ang Mo Kio and Simei. A 4th will open at the Raffles City Convention Centre tomorrow. Now this week, the 3 ITE centres will provide vaccinations for its students in the mornings and for all other students from 1:30 p.m. But from next week, the centres will be open to all students.
I think there is understandably some parents who, for various reasons, have not responded to the registration and booking process, and we continue to reach out to them because we want to make sure that the more they see their friends getting the vaccination. So the first thing I ask many of the students is, have your parents gotten their vaccination? And most of them say yes. So we know that parents who have gotten their vaccination are very supportive of their children getting vaccinated. So I think maybe for those cases who have not been responding, it might be useful to also get in touch with the parents themselves to ask their concerns that they may have about getting that vaccination. The last thing we want is for students to be identified as you have been vaccinated and you have not been vaccinated, because we do not want a situation where one becomes stigmatized for not being vaccinated. Certainly, we have to respect decisions by parents whether they would like their children to be vaccinated or not. We hope that the environment is one where everyone in the school feels safer now that the majority would have had their vaccination by the time they resume school at the end of June, and hopefully by the time they come back for their second doses towards July and August later on.